Good afternoon, everybody. It's part 2 of my epic break that I'm doing. Today is my birthday, so I'm doing some really fun, awesome, epic boxes to open. I'm starting with some of the lower value ones and progressing into the higher value ones to get more excited about ones that I'm really interested in. So this is part 2 in the series. This is going to be 2018 Prizm Soccer. And I'm also going to open up some cards that I got from a break, a Mailday that I had, that I bought into. And I'll explain that once I get to that part of it. It's just a few cards, so I figured I'll show off what I bought into as well. For people who are interested in doing breaks, be interesting to see what I got out of that one. So let's open this one. Let's start this up, and hopefully we get some really cool prisms in this box. Some really good soccer rookies. It's understandable if you're not into soccer. A lot of people aren't, but it really is a sport to get into if you like to sell cards, especially worldwide. These are World Cup trading cards, which is a great event. Every 4 years they do the World Cup, so it's special, and everybody tunes in and gets into it, just like the women's soccer team that did very well this year. All right, so let's go with these. There's 15 cards in a pack of these. So let's see what we get. If we get any really cool prisms. That's what the packs look like. And bringing the scissors with me. So hopefully these are easier to open. All right. Go. See if there's anybody that these are kind of stuck together. Don't really like that idea. All right. And these are like very similar to the football or basketball, Prizm soccer, or Prizm basketball, Prizm football. They have these like red, white, and blue cards. So I guess these would be the highlight in this package. I didn't get any autographs. I don't see any other Prizm cards either. Oh, I did get a Prizm. This is a Prizm card from that group. And that's it for those. The rest were just base. I do sell cards on different platforms. I do sell on eBay as well as ComC. For those familiar with the hobby, ComC, comc.com is a very popular platform for selling cards, where you send your cards into them and they take a commission from you for selling. And it just looks like there's a couple cards here. No, this one. A lot of the soccer players go by one name, not to be mistaken with Will I Am. Pedro. And then this one here, Key. Okay, some base. This pack seemed a little bit easier to open. Cards are still kind of just stuck together. Let's see if there's anything in these base. There's one. I recognize him. His name, Javier Tino. That's his name. That's the other highlight card in this pack. I do like soccer cards. When they came out with the National Treasures ones, I was very excited. And I did. It seemed like every time I got into a break, I had the Mexican team. So I actually have a lot of Mexican autograph from their team, the World Cup team, which are always very good players. Casper. Let's highlight. Polska, Polish team. There's a French. Ooh, I like this guy. Even though this is just a base card, I am a fan of Lukaku. I think he's a great player for Belgium. I have some of his rookie cards. He's one of the players to look out for when you buy into soccer breaks or just soccer cards in general. He's a very good player. And then Costa, Diego Costa. Douglas Costa. I read that incorrectly. I'm not sure if he's the same player as Diego Costa. So it's Douglas Costa. This guy is probably one of the best players in the world. This is just a base card, but he's another player to look out for as well when it comes to soccer. Base cards. Base cards. Here's one of the connections cards. They're very popular in Panini Prizm when they do 2 of them. This guy's a very good player too. Dembele. I think I'm saying that correctly. And then Leichsteiner. Nice cards. Just a few more packs of these. Part 2 of my epic rip party from my hotel room in Las Vegas before I go out and enjoy the evening. Such a bummer that these are all stuck together, it seems. He's a good player too. There's a base card of him. Perisic. He's a great goalkeeper. Mexico. There's a Prizm. Prizm card. And the Prizm pile. That's good. That's red. I have a red Prizm in this box. Gary Cahill. This one. I thought I saw Prizm, but I'm mistaken. Just those ones. Okay, so after this one, there's 5 more packs altogether. Next weekend, I'm going to do like a recap video too, because it's going to be too much for me to do it tonight. And this way I have time to get all the plastics on them and everything. really pronounce some of these names, so I'm just kind of showing them. These are the highlights of these packs. Prizm. Okay. Ooh, I like this Prizm coming up. Croatia. Rakitic. He's a really good player. Hazard as well. And so they wouldn't have made their home country's team if they weren't great, but it's just fun to see some of these guys who I know did very well in the World Cup, see their cards pop up, especially Rakitic. Croatia did very well. France won last year, but Croatia did very well. Denmark. Polska. Ooh, Messi. Oh, Messi. Can't have a conversation about good soccer players without talking about him. It's a nice Prizm. So he always goes back and forth with Christian for the best football player in the world title. I did have a Lionel Messi autographed card at one time, but I did sell it. It was from Flawless, and I got that in a break, and I sold that for a pretty penny on ComC. Base. This is the last pack. Nice red. And blah. There we go. So these are all the 2018 Prizm Soccer World Cup cards. These were the stack of highlights that I showed. The rest were base cards. And the last part of this part 2 is going to be this package that I got from a break that I bought into, which is interesting because this is probably, the break was actually several hours long. And they did a recap at the end. It was like 6 or 7 hours. And I had one number in the entire break. It was a number break theme. So I had the number 43. And they broke a lot of cards. And as you can see, this is how many I got out of there. It's like whenever you buy into a break, you can't necessarily win them all. So I'm fortunate enough to get some cards. I didn't completely skunk it. So that I'll say is victory. So let's see. Let's see if there's anything exciting. I see one potential exciting card. So remember, these are all cards that are number 43 out of something. So I got a Rudy Gobert. Jalen Jelks. You know, that guy. Oh, here's a National Treasures autograph, Curtis Samuel. It's a nice card. So here's a Majestic A.J. Brown. So I got some autographs. That's positive. Revolution. Yeah. Jeff Teague is the next one. And last but not least is Evan Longoria tribute card. Games jersey card. I wish the lighting was a little bit better in here, but as I mentioned previously, I'm doing this break from a hotel room, so the limited options of lighting is what I have to work with. So congratulations in part 2. I hope you enjoyed some of the soccer cards as well as the break cards that I showed. I kind of, even though I got some cards in the break, what are you going to do? You win some, you lose some. But I think I got some really nice soccer cards to put into my ComC account. Now, next weekend, what I'm going to do is a full recap of what I got in all of the different items that I'm breaking open today or opening to show. So that should be fun if you want to stay tuned for next week. That'll be something fun to watch if you don't want to go through each video individually, which is understandable because it's pretty much, you know, I don't really have a large subscription base, but I'm hoping people will enjoy it enough to start to be interested in the hobby because I love the hobby of collecting sports cards. So that's the end of part 2. Stay tuned for part 3, which is going to be, let's see, what am I going to do next? I'm going to do some Essentials basketball from, I think it's from last year. It's obviously the 2018 version because the new version isn't out yet. So let me get that up next. And thank you for tuning in to part 2. Twisty Wilkes, out.